I'm Yuta Motsuzuki. Do you know me? Yes. Oh, thank you. And thank you very much.
No translation is needed there.
Hi, hello. I'm Reiko, Zyuranger, Sailor Ranger main. 私は2回目なんですけども、レキシントンのこのレキシントンコミック&トイコンは今回は、ユータ劇が初めてここに来るということで、ユータと会えた皆さんはラッキーだと思います。
So this is my first time for Reiko, second time for being in the Comic-Con. But for Yuta is the first time. So he's very excited, she's very excited, or I should say I'm very excited, and glad to see you all guys here.
So 2年前はね、どうもすいませんでした。I'm sorry for 2 years ago. I'm sick. And I can't go this Lexington. Sorry, I'm sorry.
He was originally going to come with Reiko and Takumi Hashimoto, the Tiger Ranger, but he was very sick and hospitalized, and the doctor said you can't travel.
Yellow and black でしたね。
So Seiju Uman, Mammoth Ranger, came in his place. Okay, so we're going to get started asking some questions. My first question to Yuta-san is, what was the audition process like for the role of Geki, Tyranno Ranger?
ティラノレンジャーの、役の時のオーディションの、進み方、どんな風だったかというのを少し教えていただけますか？
ですね、10月ぐらいに次の年からの2月に放映開始なんですけども、決まったのは10月ぐらいだったのかな。で、5回オーディション。
So for the show that was to be aired on February, the audition started on October, and there were about 5 different occasions, 5 different auditions, so that went.
で、どうだったかな。僕こういう特撮番組にあまり行ったことがなかったので知らなかったんですけども、10レンジャー、日本では10っていうのは10。Do you know? 10レンジャー、10 meaning Japanese meaning 10。だから10人いるから。
Yeah, so originally when I never auditioned for this type of Sentai series before, I didn't have much previous knowledge about it. So when I went there, I just heard about the title, said Zyuranger, and he kind of mentioned it, but it's number 10 in Japanese, so I thought, oh, well, maybe there are 10 members. And I was just a group of 10 superheroes. That's what I was thinking.
10人いると画面の中にすぐにちっちゃくなっちゃうね。寂しい5人だとよかった。
So I was actually secretly hoping that it'd be less people, because if it's 10 people, then I'd be like this big on the screen. Like, I'm really hoping maybe not, maybe like 5 people ideal.
パワーレンジャーと違って10レンジャーは古代人類、1億7000万年前の人間で、恐竜時代の古代人類だった。
Yes, fantasy.
Yeah, so Zyuranger, you guys might know, not quite like Power Rangers. These are actually, Zyurangers are supposed to be like ancient beings, not quite human beings. So there's a little bit different from humankind, and it's been 1.5 billion or 17 billion. I apologize for my number mess up, but old history. So that's a little special about this series.
We are old men.
But it's still looking great.
So the same question for Reiko, what was the audition process like for Mei, the character of Mei?
Yes, もう2回目の方は聞いたことがある人たちもいると思うんですけど、
So yeah, you guys who's seen me before, you might have heard this already, but
はい、私はアイドルをやっていたので、あと高校生だったんですね。なのでヒーローものを特撮を見たことがありませんでした。
So actually, I was still in high school, I remember, and I was doing like an idol job, like a modeling type of job. So I'd never heard of this tokusatsu Sentai type of thing before.
でオーディションの会場にマネージャーに連れられていくと、大きな紙に戦隊と書いてあります。戦う隊長のごめんなさい、グループって言うんですよね。戦隊、戦うに、日本語だと隊だから軍隊の隊ですよね。
So yeah, when I went to the audition experience, I went there with my manager, and the first thing I saw was the word Sentai, which in Japanese it roughly translates to like a battle, battling group, that type of thing.
What? What? 戦隊 What? ね、でびっくりしてサプライズ、で中ではやっぱりじゃ0個まで、つまり10レンジャーのプリンセスメイまではアクションができる女の子が選ばれていたの、顔やスタイルではなくて。
So up until May, the role of May, all the previous roles for the female actresses on that type of role had been chosen for more like a fighting skill, so more of a actionable person. That's historically that's what's been chosen. So not really appearance or looks. It wasn't as regarded.
Yes, つまりどういうことかというと、オーディション会場でジャパンアクションクラブみたいな所属している女の子たちがバク転してるの。連呼できないの。
So you can kind of imagine that's what the atmosphere was. So I saw all these girls from maybe like girls from Japan Action Club who's doing like backflips and who's doing like swinging their arms, like breaking things. I was just like, whoa.
それでね、後々聞いた。だから何万人、何千人、何万人。でもさ、10回ぐらい行ったよね。そうかそうか。何回か繰り返していく。本当5回で何回か繰り返してその会場にオーディションの会場に行くんだけども、それで一番決め手となったのはお姫様ということだということを後で監督とプロデューサーから聞きました。アクションが下手でもいいからこれはお姫様の役なんだと。
So I went through, as you can see, there are a few conversations that was happening. But eventually, so I was going through auditions, went there several times, and with all these, among other girls who were doing backflips, I couldn't do that. But I got the role, and later on I found out through directors that what was important for that particular role was because it was a princess role, and they needed somebody, they didn't necessarily need somebody who could punch through the wall, but more of a kind of princess character. And
I'm Prince.
だからアクションの練習を最初撮影が始まる前に特訓されたんですけど、泣いてたよね。エブリデイ。
She's crying every day.
And he saw that too.
I care.
So yeah, she's like crying every day because I had to train, even though it wasn't the most focused part, the action part wasn't the biggest focus, I still had to do some of it. I was doing training, going through how to throw a fist and that kind of thing. So yes, that was tough time.
Yes.
Crying every day.
アクション監督がコーチしてくれたんです。アクション監督顔が怖くてない。練習が厳しくて顔が怖くてない。
And actually, I was crying every day, not because the action part was difficult, but because the director was so scary.
Director was mean.
His face.
His face.
Because I was a teenager, high school student.
She was 17.
Yes.
Did Mr. Amemiya direct the first 2 episodes?
Yeah.
Amemiya-san.
So,
So Mr. Amemiya is, you may know, as the director of Zyuranger. He's a designer. He designs all those characters. He was designer on Jetman, and he was also designer and director of Kamen Rider Zeto and Kamen Rider J, which Mochizuki-san was also starred in that. So let me ask, they can both answer this. So then, they're now cast as these characters. What is the typical day in the production like for them?
でお二人ともに質問なんですけど、こういった役をやられている上で、一般的に、日常、撮影の日常的なお話を少し聞かせていただけますか。
撮影とね、
どういう感じで、俳優さんの日常が、行くのかって話ですね。
やってる最中でプライベート。
すぐやってる最中も含めてですね。やってる最中の話です。
この時は撮影中は1年間で50話だった。
1年。
放映が1年あって50話。1年間それ毎日のほぼ一緒になる。
なるほど。So just tell you a little bit, there are 50 episodes in 1 year, so it's pretty much every day, non-stop, taking films, every day, non-stop work. That's the kind of schedule that I was in.
家族でね、長くいたんで、家族と一緒にいるより、メンバーと一緒に。
So I was spending more time actually with the crew, the production staff, and other colleagues more than I was spending more time with family, essentially. So very.
Brother, sister.
So essentially, she's my family now because of that.
How long was what's the typical day? How long would it be? How many hours?
1日でだいたい何時間ぐらい撮影をなされたんですか。
Zyurangerはああいう番組戦隊ものは朝が早い、あれもない5時とかぐらいから集まって終わるのが日が沈むと終わる。
Okay, so essentially, like the hours per day, it starts it's very early, like 5 in the morning, sort of like military in that sense, and it doesn't end until the sun goes down. So there's no set time where I can't look at the clock and be like, oh, it's time to go. It's more like we go until we can. That's how it was.
その代わりZyurangerは今と違ってビデオじゃないんで、フィルム撮影だったんで、カット数が100カットぐらいあった。1日100カットすごい多いんで、普通の撮影に比べたら。で、声がアフターレコーディングだから、音関係ないから結構二方の救急車が通ってずっと撮れるから、100カットアクションシーンがいっぱい。
CG の時代じゃないからね。
フィルムの最後にアフレーターレコーディング。
So when the filming was going on, it wasn't. It's not like a video nowadays. It's all actual film strip. So and the sound is recorded later on. It's mashed later on. So it doesn't matter if there's like a helicopter or if there's like an ambulance or any kind of like child crying in the background. It doesn't matter. So that means we had to keep going. There was no, we didn't have to be sensitive toward the sound, but that meant we have to keep going until it's done. So it was a continuous, about 100 cuts per day, which is actually a very massive amount. And that was just continuing for, like I said, a year, 50 episodes, just every day working like that.
大体2週間で2話ずつ。
So yeah, and there's 52 weeks in a year, so about 1 episode per week. So in 2 weeks, 2 episodes.
What's a good memory for them filming the action scenes? They have a funny story or something that's very memorable?
アクションシーンで何か面白い出来事とか、撮影の時に、面白い話とか、なんか秘話みたいなやつを聞いてたり。
これは鉄板なんですけど、何回か話してるんだろうなという何回も聞いてる人いるかもしれない。
So guys, I've said this in the past before and other places too, so you might have heard this, but
はい、僕所属してた。
僕言いますけど、
part of action team, but I don't run action stunts. I can acrobating and fighting, high jump and stunt. No practice.
Right, so no stunting kind of background. I knew how to do the action part, throw the punch and all that, but the particular like stunting that requires like a hardcore action, I did not know.
その最初のパイロット版で1話2話っていうのがあって、一番最初の撮影の時に ジェットコースターのレールの10メートル以上のところから飛び降りさせられた。
覚えてる、I remember.
First two filming, I remember it was like so 10 meters, like a 10-yard high. It was like a roller coaster kind of rail, and I had to jump from there. Just no wire, nothing, just jump.
You? Hey, over there, jump.
Yes.
I don't run. First time.
Every day 激トラ
First
イ 激シューズトライ
You know jet coaster?
Yep, roller coaster.
Roller coaster? Rail? Walking. With monster.
So that's right, it's the second episode.
Very high. 高所恐怖症なんですよ。
Oh, and I'm actually afraid of height too.
レールの間はスカスカ。丸見え。
Ooh. And you know, as you guys can imagine, I mean, the roller coaster rail, right? There's nothing underneath. So I saw everything.
登る。ついた。Wind is 狭い。
So narrow.
先輩って何ですか？
Like he's senior. Senpai. Oh, you guys know senpai?
先輩
Yes.
アクション、スタント、プロフェッショナル先輩。Hey, you, look. Test. Test. 先輩。はあ、ヒュー、こう背中からヒュード、ヒュードスン。He said, Really?
So the guy, he always supposed to make me feel safe, right? He's a senpai, he's experienced, okay, let's check this out. He jumps and he's like in pain right there, like, it doesn't make me feel very comfortable. It's made me even more nervous.
もうやだ
10 meter over. Mat. Size. No. 10 meter. See.
畳1畳が2畳分ぐらい
Just
So basically, like, maybe twice the size of this table right here. He had to jump all the way from his height. That's higher than, but twice the height of this ceiling right here.
cigarette case. Just cigarette.
So this large mat looks like the size of a cigarette case.
This size out. Dead.
デッドはない
Understand?
If he misses, he's dead.
Little out. Dead.
デンジャラスベリーデンジャラス
First time. まだ放送してないんですよ。
Oh.
違う違う。
So again, this is a pilot episode, guys. So I mean, what happens if I just land on somewhere else? Maybe the series ends.
If I get, I'm nothing. Director say, 死んだらどうする If I did, どうする Okay.
So I asked the director, well, what happens? Okay, what happened if I just miss and die? And they're like, okay. So I just made up my mind and it's like, all right, let's go.
My soul is
My soul, I think I felt it kind of go away for a minute.
危ないゴーストになるってこ
Almost a ghost, almost. But I made it.
と。はい、荒い。
So that's difficult to follow, but how about Reiko's story?
レコはなん
ボン、ババババババ。何 Test is.
そうだから
ババ
テストの時セメント爆弾の中を走り抜けるっていうね、昔だと今だと CG を使って爆発の風に見せることだけで済んだんですけど90年代でしたから セメント爆弾の中を採石場を走り抜けるっていうシーンがあって、でリハーサル、はい。
Oh, just real quick. So it was about the scene where I was running through explosives, so like pyrotechnics and things like that. And it wasn't, again, this was back in the 90s, so there's no computer graphics. Everything is an actual physical explosion. I was just running through it.
でリハーサルの時はゆっくりというか、このぐらいで普通走るんじゃないかなって余裕で走ったんですよね。だけど本番いざとなったら怖い音がするし、一本あれもやっぱりぶつかったら死ぬんでしょ。危ないのか、目に入る。だからもうすっごい速さで走り抜けて、あれ追いつけなくなるんだけどものすごい速さで出る、走った。
So like in practice, I was just kind of like, just jogging, taking my time, just going through, and then in the real thing, it's actually things are blowing up and things are flying around. I was just like running like hell, just trying to go through that, gun it down.
今はね、本当にね CG あるからいいんだけど。
昔は暑いよね。そしてね、なんだっけ、バーナー。
ガソリン
Yeah, so it's like
ナパームだ。そう。
Oh, they have that like, so it's like a flame, creative type of explosive. So it was just very, very, very physical when you think about it that way. So these guys, that's what they were. That's the kind of work environment that these guys were in.
Do you watch Zyuranger?
Yes.
Whole story?
Yes.
Wow.
Brian. Do you know Brian? My brother. Green Ranger. The first time I'm fighting here. He saw. His soul, long soul. Me. That's it.
Yeah, he's got to connect, and then he slices, and there's got to be explosion.
Nothing. I'm human, not robot. No blood. Self switch.
Oh, alright.
So, oh, it's like right there. Me, self switch.
Very difficult.
I was getting
This
tough.
is very difficult.
Self switch.
I basically exploded myself. So I was supposed to be more of a human type of historical human being. I don't know why that was a spark, instead of the blood, but that's what it was.
Spark. Window is
So hot. Yeah, my eyebrows, my eyelashes, I said goodbye to them.
Boys, Takumi said, oh, Kiki dead. Me too. Nice. Alright.
But I'm still here.
で感動するストーリーなんですけどね、ブライと
最初はね、
劇の
Okay, okay.
グリーンとレッドの兄弟の戦いのシーン、そしてグリーンが死んでいくっていうところがね、とてもシリアスで、とても名シーンと言われるね、みんなが大好きなシーンなんですよ。なんだけどそのストーリーの裏ではもうそういう危ない笑っちゃうようなこととか、あとヤドカリ事件もあったね。
So yeah, just as you guys know, that scene is very heartfelt type of, like, it's a serious scene. It's a brotherhood fight between the two characters, and so it's supposed to be, it's like that. It's a serious, memorable scene, but
Very
very emotional. Behind
Plot
that is, I just remember my eyebrows and eyelashes being gone.
でヤドカリ事件。
my brother bride dead, me and May and boy. 3 men. 死んでるその最後に見とるとなんか3人見とる。
So he was just watching his brother pass away.
Yeah, later in the series, his brother dies.
And one day, let's say, within series, もうすぐ死ぬ。もうすぐ死ぬ。
So he's about to pass away. So it's an actual scene. He's about to go. He's about to go. His brother's about to go.
Director, hey, it's lunchtime.
So I was supposed to cry. Yeah, it's like very emotional. It's like, oh, lunchtime.
一回来い。
So I was actually crying. The tears coming out, but then as soon as lunchtime hits, like all that's gone.
そして戻ってきた。は
Right.
い、再度上げ。
And then again later on.
兄さんは最初見つける、ね、砂場浜で倒れてるんですよ。それを見つけるんですよ。
So I found, it's this scene where I find my brother on the beach, just laying there.
これはここにヤドカリとかあるんですよ。
Like, so there's a little creature I saw. I remember that is on the hand. I think it's a hermit crab that's just kind of hanging out on his hand.
Do you not
ヤ
see
ドカリ
this?
Don't move. 撮影 moving wait.
ヤドカリが動くまで待ってなきゃいけないって監督が言うの。
ヤドカリ動きました。ヤドカリ moving.
So we had a little friend here on my hand, and he just kept hanging out. The hermit crab will keep going. The director said, "You can't move until he moves." So I'm just hanging in there, and the little hermit crab is still there, and he's not moving.
Hurry up. そうなんです。それで2人兄さん重装券プレゼントです。Do you know? 重装券 me
He gives to him the dagger.
でこの手をこうやってやるとアームプレゼント。
あ、ピュイーン。
When we are change 変身。やってる見せようとする。2人が変身する。
As the brother expires, he kind of inherits the power.
His power. Okay, gotcha. Yes.
もらったらまた戻る。長めの人間。
So once I get that back, and I become a normal human being.
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know 全体で。でさね、本当にone day long time.
そうね。
Waiting and watching hermit crab.
Dating time. Long middle lunch time. Check costume change.
So from the beginning to end of just one particular scene, because of things like food, lunch, and little or creature friend, it took a long time to finish.
本当にでもね、兄さん好きで長い時間いたので死んだ時は本当に寂しかったです。悲しかった。
But in all seriousness, I mean, we worked together for a long time, and he was my brother, right? So even in the role when he passed away, I was actually pretty sad about that.
We love Brian.
でも今もプライベートで仲良くね、ご飯食べたり飲み行ったりしてるんで。
死んでないからね。
But we're actually, in reality, he's of course alive. So we still hang out in real life, and we go get food and stuff. So that's great.
ジョレンジャーの一番他のシリーズの戦隊と違うところは敵を倒して終わってないんですよ。
So what's unique about Zyuranger series is that the fighting and beating up beating the enemy isn't the end of it. That's not the end of the story.
敵を倒して殺したりして死んでない。
So none of the enemy, quote unquote, are never actually dead.
壺に封印される。
They're actually encapsulated in, and of course you guys, you're nodding, that getting encapsulated in this ceiling device, so none of them are actually killed.
その中で singing, laughing, パトラ珍しいね、戦隊で。
So yeah, it's kind of a unique take on this type of thing, where it's not, the goal of it is not really to go beat them up and kill them and get rid of them from this universe, but more so they just like have their own little world and it's a little nice thing.
で死んだように見えるのはカイっていうやつとバンドラスさんカイ and ブライデッドなんだけど、もともと死人だったんですよ、死んでたんで。でそれを蘇らせたんで、その際で死んだんだけど、本当に生きててすごい一回も誰も殺してもないし死んでも。
So there are a couple characters that are actually deceased, technically, like such as my brother Bri, but they actually were resurrected originally from the dead anyway, so they're kind of dead from the beginning. But I didn't kill them.
Zyuranger is fantasy.
Yes.
I like stories.
So we have some time to take some questions. We're going to throw this microphone around. So who would like to ask a question?
All right, you ready? Catch. Catch. Nice catch.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
I guess this will kind of count to both of them,
お二人に質問です。
Yeah.
since both of you have been, I guess, your suits are iconic. Kamen Rider J, and I want to know what it sort of feels like to see a screen and you're there fighting the newest rider or there with the newest Sentai team. Is it sort of surreal to see that you are technically still fighting even though you're technically not?
So playing these iconic characters, how does it feel when they see themselves on screen as these characters? On TV screen or movie screen?
もう仮面ライダーとか、あとはこのジュレンジャー、スーツというのは非常に、よく分かるもの。誰が言ってもパッと見たら、あ、仮面ライダーってすぐ分かるし、そういうよく知られているスーツの中で、役者さんとしてスクリーンに実際出られているご自分の姿を見られたときに、どう思われましたか？
ちっちゃい頃にゴレンジャーとか仮面ライダーの1号とかを見てたんで、あ、自分がなってるっていう喜びです。
So for me, I grew up with that type of series. I grew up with Kamen Rider. I grew up with Go Ranger. So seeing myself on the screen, it was actually great. I didn't feel any other negative feelings. Of course, I just thought that I'm finally there. I was really happy about it.
変身したりとかね。
Yeah, including like morphing and all this new different special concept, and I was doing it. I was very proud. レイコさんは？
私はね、ちっちゃい頃から女の子の番組とかリカちゃん人形とかさ、バービーちゃん人形とかで遊んでたタイプなんで、基本引きこもりなんでオタクだし、あとゲームとかね。だからなったことなかったんで、変身ものだったりとかやったことなかったんだけど、いざ自分がやってみると、だから「I feel strong」だから強くなった感じがするっていうのは精神的に感じましたね。はい。
So I was growing up. I liked playing with like things like so-called like girly toys like Barbie and things like that. And I was also very much a nerd as well. I was playing video games. I like to keep myself inside, and that's what I was. So never really did any action type of thing or really watched that many Go Ranger, that type of thing. But once I did it, it was actually very cool experience, very empowering experience to be a girl and being in that industry, being in that action leading role. I thought that was really cool. I liked it a lot.
I have a question. In this industry, are the male and female actors treated and paid the same?
Super Sentai.
そうですね。これ戦隊もののお二人に質問なんですけど、こういった戦隊もののシリーズの中で、男性と女性は 扱いがちょっと違うのか、それと、例えば報酬とかちょっと違うのかなっていうのが質問です。
いや、結構今世の中的にはポリティカルコレクトレスみたいなことにアメリカ特になっちゃってると思うんですけど、今の日本も確かに、新しい戦隊たちの方は人数を女の子を増やしてみたり男の子の人数を増やしてみたりとポリコレの波が来てるんですよね。風潮としては入ってきてる。だけど私たちの時は平等、もう本当に女性も男性も同じという平等の権利で戦わせてもらってました。でいいこと。
So might be similar. Back in the day when I was filming heavily in this industry, I would say we were treated about the same. At least in my experience, it was about equal. I would say that we were equal. Nowadays, the difference that I see is that there are more talk, more movement towards, say, getting more female suit actors or female fighters in that type of role. That's more encouraged. So in that sense, it's changing a little bit compared to my time. But as far as, I think your question is coming from maybe equality type of thing, a fairness, in my experience, in my work field, I was treated just as well, I felt, as Yuta.
Thank you.
Let's get somebody over here. You have to throw the microphone. How about that guy right back there? Where's the microphone?
Are you okay?
Nice catch.
Well, right. Well, I was actually hoping to actually ask a question in Japanese, but since I didn't get good enough, I actually had to get Google Translate to do it for me.
本当は日本語で質問したかったんですけど、Google に助けてもらいます。
Well, we do have a Japanese translator.
Yeah. True. I wanted to do. Actually, wanted to
I'm the editor, so I want to hear the question in English first before I.
Well, the question was, what was the challenge of doing the fight scenes in Zyuranger, especially with the Golem soldiers? That's what I wanted to ask you.
Well, I'm sorry. Say it again. What was the
challenge of doing the fight scenes? Doing the fight scenes in Zyuranger, including like single fights with the Golem soldiers.
So I think he's talking about some of the kind of the foot soldiers in this series. Mm-hmm. There's scenes of them fighting, in their costume, not as the helmeted characters, because that's a different actor. But as their regular character, with just surrounded by all these other actors doing, martial arts moves. What was the challenge of doing those kinds of scenes with a lot of actors?
そうなんですよね。で、今度はこっちからこっちに行くから。ファイトシーンの戦うところですねの質問なんですけど、スーツの中に入って、本当すごい数の人たちがいるわけじゃないですか。たくさん、ゴーレムが彼はゴーレムも聞いてるんですけどね。そういうキャラがたくさんいる中で、スーツに入って戦うっていうところの、難しいところ、チャレンジングなところ、難点ですねをちょっと聞きたいと教えていただけますか。
基本的に難しくない。Not difficult.
Not challenging.
Yeah. Every day. 普通ね、立石が振り付けをつけるコレオグラファー。それがそうですね。テストしてお前やる。
So no, it is not challenging. However, I do say that we do spend a lot of time with choreographers to make sure that the fight scenes are making sense, it looks good, and then we actually film it. So I didn't really feel, as far as difficulty part of it, I didn't feel that it was exceptionally challenging because I was in a suit or because there were so many people at the same time, nothing like that. But that doesn't mean that we didn't have to spend any effort. We did spend a lot of time with choreographers. But I didn't think that fight scene, to answer your question, was particularly difficult because it was a fight scene or anything like that.
まあ、難しくはないけど、でも今ここにほらスーツ着てる子たちがいるでしょ。これで動くってことはヘルメットをかぶったりするから視界も狭くはなるし、あと夏は暑いし、冬は寒いっていうところはやっぱり見てて辛そうでした。辛いっていうか大変だと思いましたよ。
結構チャレンジングじゃないですか。
俺たちGreg always short pants, no support. His knee is everyday.
So Reiko-san, I said, from her perspective. So I was wearing, as you said, like wearing suit every day and fighting in that kind of stance every day. So as some of you can see, like you're wearing that suit as well. It's not the same clothes that you wear every day. So there are restrictions and a little bit of movement, and especially when you wear a helmet, you can't really see much. Your focus is right here. So I did feel a little, I wouldn't say difficult, but there were some challenges. There were some points that we all had to manage. And like Yuta was saying, I wasn't wearing any knee protection or anything like that. So every day when I get in the battle scene, I would scrape my knees. That's just everyday life. That's just how it was.
My costume is this.
Yeah, she's got my costume there.
So she had a question. Let's throw the microphone. You had a question? No, right there. Yeah. He's going to throw the microphone back at you. Somebody got to catch it. Nice. Good throw.
I would like to ask how it was to work with a changeman.
With
A changeman.
Changeman.
How it was to work with.
Yeah, so Izumi-san was also in Changeman. What was it like working with him? Izumi-san.
チェンジマンと一緒にお仕事するのはどんな感じでしたかね。
チェンジマン見たことなかったんで初めて兄さん7つ上なんですよ。はい。ちょうどブライムとして劇の年同じあれだったんで、僕10年で一番年上だったんで、みんなティーンエイジ年下ばっかりで、初めてお兄さんが来てすごい嬉しかったので。
So I've never actually seen Changeman before, to be honest. But I was in Zyuranger. I was the oldest person in that group. So that was the first time that somebody else was older than me came along. He was 7 years older. So I actually felt like I just had a big brother. So that was kind of cool to be working with somebody a little bit older than me.
I love him very much.
Actually, when Takumi Hashimoto was here, because he was younger when they made Zyuranger, when he was 16, of course he grew up with Changeman. So he said when, I guess it's filmed generally in order, and so the character of Barai comes in somewhere in the first third, and so then Mr. Izumi is introduced. Takumi was, oh my god, Changeman!
Boy watching, Takumi watching Changeman.
Yeah, so he was a fan. So he thought that was great. He didn't see him as Barai, he saw him as Changeman. Change Pegasus.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Takumi is mania.
So let's wrap it up. We're going to have them do their henshin pose, so you can all take some pictures. Okay?
Henshin pose? Henshin pose? Everybody, let's join henshin. It's morphing time. Reiko, henshin da! Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This video is sponsored by the Crazy Kings of Toys. Check them out for all your toy needs and find out why they are so crazy. Find them on eBay, Bricklink, and Facebook. Links are in the description. For more Toxic Pop, visit our website at toxicpop1.wixsite.com/toxicpop. Email us at toxicpop1@gmail.com and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/toxicpop1 and Instagram at instagram.com/wearetoxicpop. Links are in the description.